Hello YouTube, this is Galactic Marine 501 slash jexamwolfexia, and I'm here today with part 1 out of probably 4. This guy's going to get a long review of the Destiny Gundam Extreme Blast Mode. Probably the best kit I've ever gotten. My favorite kit of all time now. And, yeah, different enough from my 1 to 100th Destiny that I can still keep that, because the colors are quite different. The last part I'm going to do is sort of a comparison, because it's sort of pride. But I'm going to go into plates, colors, stuff like that. First off, I want to show you some of the trees. I haven't built the backpack at all yet, so I'm not done with it by far. Or the sword or cannon. I haven't built those either. I'll show you all of the upgrade weapons after we're done, after this part. But you do get 3 different colors of silver. You get metallic silver, semi-metallic frosty silver, which is nice because these parts are parts that sometimes connect together in visible places, and they look good that way because they don't look too obviously uneven, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, and then you get some gray, which is for a lot more inner frame and stuff. But yeah, I think the silver really pulls off that silver really well. But you also, unfortunately, you get that leg joint, and I'm thinking of just gluing that down, like making it so that the hips cannot do that spread thing, because it is kind of annoying because they start to do it when you don't want to, when you don't want them to. But anyway, here he is. He's got one accessory on him. That is the shield. Now, the shield has a little more than normal. The peg, for some stupid reason, this peg can fold down. I guess maybe he can carry it by the handle on the top? I don't know. But it still does slide down, revealing the red. It's still nice. I still like this better than the beam shield. Which, by the way, on this one, this is my favorite beam shield out of all of the Destinies, just because of the look. However, this is the one I'm least likely to display with the beam shield, considering the lock mechanism is terrible on this. But yeah. Now, before I go any further into the actual mobile suit, let's get into the extras that you get in this kit. Now, like most Gundam kits in Master Grade, you do get standing pilot figures. On this one, I don't know if you can see her, but you also get a figure of Stella, because she was kind of Shin's driving force through the second half of the series. But there's also for some of you guys who are very bad with getting your balance perfect and are afraid that your models are going to fall over, rejoice, and you may want to spring the extra money for this guy instead of the original Destiny, because he does come with a professional grade action base and a limited, like a special edition one that you'll only get here. You'll only get this here. And the way you know that is this isn't just a spiky design. This is actually the Destiny Gundam's wings here. Yeah, it's actually modeled after the Destiny Gundam's wings. You can tell this part up here is the black, and then the part underneath it is the red. If I were to paint it, you'd see, but I'm not going to because I like the sleek look of it. Oh yeah, and by the way, this peg will break off, so don't do too much with it. Like, once you get that in there, don't try to take it out, because this style peg is in there to stay. Just saying. I broke the stand from my Super Deformed 00 Quanta, and yeah, so that's not gonna come back out very easily. So if you're putting it in there, make sure you're ready to put it in there, because you're not gonna get that back out. I've bought kits when I've been out of town before and started them before I got home. Yeah, if you do that same thing with this guy, do not assemble the stand out of town if you can't get it back into your luggage. But yeah. You also, on top of this, you get a special custom mount for the Destiny. Now, other mounts that come with kits will fit. It's the standard sized mount hole there, so any kit will fit in there. And then you can shove that in, and then this will lock special. This will sit the backpack in there, which is great. Now, on top of that, you get a mount for something else. I don't know what. I don't know what exactly. Maybe some older master grades had this style mount or something. I don't know. I'd have to check the Death Scythe Hell. Maybe he has that style. I don't remember. Um, but you also get a lengthener here. It makes it taller, which is good. I like that. And you can adjust it there. It's got a screw. And then you've got 3 settings down here. So you can have it either off to the side a little, or off to the other side a little, or centered. Which, this is a terrific action base. I like this. Now, you get another special thing that you can't use really on the kit, which is really, really thoughtful of Bandai, but if you don't have the freedom at all, the strike freedom, then you're pretty much screwed for the full use of this. And that is the... Oh wait, actually first, before I get into those, the polycaps themselves are actually a little metallic. They've got a little bit of a frosty color to them. But anyway, yeah. Back to what I was saying. Those are the crystal figures. They're not actual crystal. They're clear plastic, but they still appear real. They still look nice. Of Kira and Shin. Shin obviously being the one who has to do his little fist, his Tiger Woods fist thing, where he has it out like this, which he seems to love to do. I don't know. But, yeah. And Kira is just sort of standing there like, why am I fighting? I don't know. We need to fight to end war. Life is pain. Or something like... Or whatever Kira Yamato does these days. Yeah. But anyway, these are really detailed figures. And for being this small, I can definitely see somebody painting these up pretty well. They show painted versions on the box that were painted by a pro. But I could probably paint the flight suit. I probably could on this scale. I wouldn't be able to do it all the way, but I probably could paint the flight suit. Now, I have to say I do like these better than the ones that they would give you with the strikes. For the simple fact that these look good unpainted. The strike ones look like Kira Yamato is naked. There's no way around it. They're flesh tone plastic, so it looks like he's naked. That's all it looks like. And it also, well, not really. It looks dumb more than anything. But yeah. And so let's get into the special effect parts that you only get in this kit. You can get the other Destiny and you get a lot of stuff with it, but in this one you do get some special things. First off, oh wait, hang on. Before I get into special effect parts, let's just sort of run through what you get on this guy. Okay, the articulation is really nice. The shoulder units themselves without the arms can fold up like that, so you can see how good the arm articulation is. One of the things that I really like is this. Up, there goes that. Yeah, the shoulder armor I find pops off a little too easily, but yeah, you could pull the arms forward like that for a dynamic pose, or have him reach for a weapon. Have him reach for the beam boomerangs, I think was what they were trying to get you to do with that. Oh yeah, and by the way, guys, I'm wondering, I want to do a custom Gundam for my Sandrock that I have. And I was wondering if you guys could think of any customs that you would like to see with that. I mean, I was thinking possibly a Assassin's Creed version, like make it after Altair from Assassin's Creed, but whatever. But I was wondering if you guys had any better ideas. Oh yeah, you do have that special thing that was special to this guy where you can splay the hips a little, but it doesn't really work that well. And now here, this is cool. I like this. Watch the legs. You get them completely prone. All of that armor is flush. But when you bend this top joint, that slides down, creating a nice effect. Now when you bend the bottom joint, I'm actually going to do this on camera. You see the knee slides up and then it splits there. Here, watch. You see it splits, and then this part moves up too. So you've got 3 moving parts on that knee, or 2 moving parts, which is very cool. You got pistons in the feet, always a good thing. There are more pistons somewhere else on the guy, on him. And I'm suffering a bit from the sin of pride, because I see some details not painted on here that, on my Destiny, they're already painted, so I might have out-detailed this guy, which I'm surprised at. But I can never actually out-detail this guy, because he does have more details. And the vents in the head, those are definitely a knock against mine, because this guy has plastic there, which makes his a lot neater than mine probably are. I got mine really neat, but still, plastic, you're gonna get, there's no slight variations at all in there, so you're good. You're pretty much good on that. You also have the opening cockpit. There's shin in there. Not white, like it's normal. It's a really, really light blue, bluish, grayish color, which is the way this is supposed to be. You didn't get that bluish effect on the 1/100th, so that's why I like having them both. But anyway, now you do have the beam shields in the hands, but I'm not going to get into that today. That's going to be in part 2. But for the hands, you have the open palm Fiocina. I'll pop the arm off. The open palm Fiocina hands, very nice. You do only get 1 pair of the blue hand covers though, but because they're 3 parts instead of just 2, I can kind of see it, and one of the parts is really small. And you'll see why when I do the beam shield. But yeah, so you do just have to pop this part off and then swap it onto the manipulator that you want. And you get 5 different manipulators. You get the open hands, 2 articulated hands with, here's one, with the trigger finger and the 3 fingers on ball joints. Here, I'll pull the 3 fingers out. The 3 fingers are together, but they can be separated because they have separate ball joints. I'm never going to do that, though. But then you've got the thumb on a ball joint as well. Quite nice. They've got pegs in there so you can hold weapons. Let's get the beam rifle to demonstrate. Let's see how good these are. I'm going to bend the thumb out of the way completely. Let's see what I can do with this. Or you know what, let's bend the thumb down and out of the way, because when it's up and out of the way it touches the bottom of the beam rifle. And, okay, I can't get these fingers out of the way perfectly, but I'll just not have them using their mass to hold it in. Okay, this peg is not as good as the 1/60th scale strike, in which you could basically just have it just using the peg and not the hand. You're gonna need the hand with this guy. Oh no, I managed it. I managed it. But yeah, he can hold his weapons rather well. The beam rifle is very nice, despite the fact that it's so plain. You can actually pop off this top piece. Watch. You can pop this off, and if you do it carefully enough, you can pop it off completely, and underneath, there's some inner detail in there. Very cool. I like that. I like it when they include sort of mechanical detail. That's why I always line the inner frames, because I like that a lot. That's a big feature for me, because I like the mechanical stuff. And that's another reason why I like the physical shield better than the beam shield, because you have mechanical detail on this one, which the beam shield doesn't because it's a beam. So yeah, sort of justified that stupid little decision. But while I have this off, I could show you the... Oh, wrong arm. I'm going to switch it back. But anyway, let's see. I'm going to put that one on. I'm going to rip this arm off. Oh yeah, and by the way, one of these arms, this one is a polycaps, or the other one is a polycap that I had the shield in before. This one is a plastic piece. It's not as tight, but it still stays. So it's fine, but it's not as good as the polycap. They didn't have enough polycaps though, so they could have just made one and been done with it, but apparently that was too hard, so they just gave you a thing. So anyway, here for the palm Fuosina, I think, Fuokina, something like that. That's the palm gun, palm laser, whatever you want to call it. The Destiny fingers. Here it is for the melee mode. Basically, what he would do in this mode is run up to you and blast your face. Here, I'll show you. He would basically run up to you and go boom and blast your face off, sort of like this. So probably not with his own face, but that would be funny. And that's the way it was used most often. However, apparently he could also shoot a laser with it. Oh, and this was also used on the Goof Ignited's whip, the beam whip. He broke it when Athrun was trying to escape. But yeah, then it's got this beam blast effect part, which it's really just a straight stick. It's not really detailed much. I could probably add some little lines in there, but I'm not going to. I may end up painting it a little bluish, or seeing if I can find some clear blue Tamiya paint, then painting it bluish. I don't know if I can in the US, in Indiana, though, because I don't think we have a hobby store that's good enough to do that. But anyway, let's get on to something else. You also get these two effect parts, one shorter and one longer. Sadly, you cannot choose which hand they go into. They go into specific hands. But what these do is provide you with a weird little stick thing until, that is, you get a boomerang. And for the boomerangs, you do pull them out here. And the part there that's supposed to be gray is. Mine is black, so it's slightly less authentic. On the one that I painted, my entrant into this little friendly / completely cutthroat competition. But yeah, so what you can do is you stick it onto this little circular peg there, which doesn't look terribly good, but you can't see it, and you can have it at any angle you want. Or if you want to be really bad with this, you can have him sort of... God, who was it that threw their beam swords into people? You can have him doing a strike noir move where he throws his beam sword into the ground and cuts a Baku in half. That was freaking awesome, by the way. I saw Gundam Seed Stargazer. I know I said I saw it before, but I hadn't seen the full series. So I watched the full OVA, the whole thing. I'd seen most of it. I'd also read the articles and stuff. I knew what I was talking about, but I hadn't seen the full thing like consecutively. I'd found like every clip from it, but I hadn't seen them in order. So yeah. yeah, it's an awesome OVA. You should definitely check that out. Strike Noir is freaking badass, and the Stargazer, it's got a little too much story behind it for me. I mean, I do like things like Evangelion. Those deserve to. Those units aren't fully mechanical. They actually have like sort of intelligence, which the Stargazer did. But this is Gundam, not Evangelion. So yeah, but you can kind of have him sort of standing there, just sort of doing a little bit of a with the beam sword sticking through another model. If you get like a cheap, I wish they made like a dagger in the 1/100th, and just had like just slicing right through it. Either a dagger or maybe a Windom or something. You know, just something that this guy would have fought that he actually was able to destroy. That wasn't a main Gundam. Now, it would be kind of cool to have him attempting this on the Freedom. Maybe with his other palm with the... the only thing is, if you do it this way, then you cannot use the palm Fuokina, or however you say it, Fuokina. But you can have him throwing this one as well, which is cool. That's kind of cool. I mean, I'm not going to poo-poo that, having the ability to throw both of them. And maybe have him with this one, have him throwing an actual boomerang the way it's supposed to be done, instead of just chucking a sword at somebody. That's pretty cool, though, having that ability. And these parts are nice and long. The other problem is the longest one, which is the most dynamic, I find, is also on the same hand that you'd need to use if you wanted to do this. So, in my opinion, having him... Oh, God. I would sort of use the thing where I have him throwing the beam sword just because it's, you know, something that you really don't expect from somebody who you're fighting. You don't expect him to just take his beam saber. You expect him to throw the boomerang, but you don't expect him to do the saber, and then to just add the palm either to the same guy, like this, or just have another guy back here, and just... I've always wanted to get some cheap kits. Probably if I did this, it would probably happen in 1/144th, because I could get first grades and do this. But just take a lighter or something and melt holes through it and have these suits getting destroyed by Gundams. I really wish they made a Kerberos Baku, like a really cheap Kerberos Baku, because I would love to have it being ripped up by the Noir, because the Noir really trashes those things. I mean, they fight the Blue Duel. The Blue Duel gets destroyed by them, literally, and sort of, I guess, I don't know. But the Blue Duel gets its butt kicked really badly. And then Strike Noir comes out of nowhere. He's not having it, and beats the crap out of all of them. And then the Kerberos Bakus are just like ripping through the Blue Duel. Strike Noir just comes out of nowhere, just sort of announces its presence. They sort of go, huh? Look at him, and then they're like, hey, let's rip this guy up. And they actually seem like dogs. I mean, the Bakus didn't really behave like dogs, but these did. It can only make you wonder, are these AIs, like the Stargazer? That would be cool, because they would actually have canine personality. Or maybe they have some type of super intelligent wolves piloting them. But yeah, so anyway, they sort of look at the Strike Noir, then come after him. Then he sort of flies away. But as he's flying away, he pulls out his beam saw, throws it into the ground, and cuts the first one in half. Why am I talking about the Noir? This is the Destiny. But yeah, definitely. Sorry. Just got done watching Stargazer. I was watching it as I was building this guy, so I'm kind of hyped on it right now. Oh, by the way, I forgot to show you the the last manipulator. You get a closed holding hand. This is for the sword, and I'm glad they gave it to us because that peg would not be enough. Because this sword is big. But yeah, I'll be back with those parts in the second part. And then in the third part, you'll get to see my pride on the line. My Destiny Gundam, the one that I've put all of that love and work into, versus the ultimate Destiny Gundam. The 1 to 100th Extreme Blast. Sorry, I kept wanting to say Full Burst, but I'm like, nope, that's Strike Freedom. Extreme Blast Edition. So, it is kind of disappointing that in this mode you can't use the stand, though. However, just build the backpack and you can rectify that. Just build the tiny little inside of the backpack and you can rectify that. Actually, you know what? I'll go through some hits and misses with this guy. First off, for me, I love the Destiny. I've played a few Gundam games. I have played an online version of Gundam vs. Gundam. I've played Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3. The Destiny is my favorite in every game I've played that has him. For the simple reason, he's such a versatile mobile suit. He's got so many awesome weapons. The palm Fuokina, however you say it, he's shooting freaking lasers out of his palms. Usually he uses it to melt your face, but still. I would like to think that if he went up against God Gundam, and if I get the Destiny Gundam, the SD, I would like to have him and God Gundam, like, have him locking hands with the God Gundam, saying that his laser hands could somehow provide enough of a barrier that his hands wouldn't get melted. So that would be awesome. Maybe get a Master Grade God Gundam and have the Palm Fuokina hand holding it while he throws a sword through the God Gundam or something. Yeah, I definitely say that if they fought, this guy would kick the God Gundam's ass. Even if you dropped his height to make them more on par. So, yeah. Aside from that, yeah. Oh, by the way, I know these two figures were designed to be used with the Full Burst Mode Strike Freedom and the Extreme Blast Destiny going at it, but I'm going to use them with my 1 to 1/44ths, which means I'm going to have to rethink my Impulse, which is being displayed in its parts instead of as a full mobile suit. I may turn it into a mobile suit, I may just move them, but yeah. I may put it on my miscellaneous shelf. Then again, now that I have some age kits, I have to put those up there too. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next review. This has been Galactic Marine 501/jexamwolfexia.